Hey everyone, so let's get into the reading. This is a reading on the Shaka, Aveen, and Velvet, a story, threesome, all of that. Um, so I already started pulling some cards, and the truth is that if you take out the ego out of that interview, the truth was told on both sides. Even the reason Eligio have gave to the reason why Velvet was doing the things that she was doing, it's the truth. So let's just go into the cards. I found it interesting how attracted she was to Aveen. And the reason is because I could have swore I heard Velvet say that she wasn't a lesbian at one point. But when you look deeper in the situation, Velvet she's very traumatized. So she is afraid to open up to a man like that because she don't trust herself and making decision on man and stuff like that. And yeah, she was trying to get over Eligio. And she became infatuated with Aveen because it helped take some of the attention away from her pain. But when I look over here at the cards of how she felt about Shaka, so when I look over here at these Shaka cards, it was like she appreciated him, but I don't feel like she trusted him. I do feel like at one point she did feel like she was like in love with him, but it wasn't really love. It was her clinging on to something, clinging on to the energy, because it just interests me that when she leave, she go and talk to ex-members and all of that. Like, she's still evolving herself in that energy. And she's trying to find something that is familiar. She really don't know herself right now. She don't know herself right now, and she got a lot of healing to do. And if she don't do it, if she keep making the wrong decisions, like, the universe is gonna keep putting their foot up her ass. And if she go back to Eligio, it's gonna be even worse. It's time for her to admit that she was wrong about some things and then just go and get the help that she needs. I do feel like she is considering that right now. Mm. But I do got a feeling that she still be having Eligio in her ear. So, mm-mm. So let's get into that for a moment. Eligio and Shaka was very strategic during the energy. You know, I can't stand that whole passive aggressive bullshit. I really can't, but I notice it when I notice it. But this was an opportunity for Eligio to seem caring and empathetic. It was an opportunity for him to show Velvet that he's the one that cared for her and that he would take her back no matter what. But trust and believe, he was calculating on ways to punish her during that interview. So I feel like Eligio probably is going to work even harder to try to get Velvet back because he just wants to prove a point. It's all about the point. His ego is really bruised right now. And, you know, I even think that he may have said something to Nateri about that York dude being correct just so she could leave TKO. Like, I don't know where that coming from, but so alright, so Shaka think that the way that he react and responds to things is what a man's supposed to be. He don't stand on anything. He just like very agreeable. He don't stand firm on anything. So during the interview, he wanted Eligio to feel a way about certain things, like Velvet sucking his dick, or Velvet expressing love to him. He wanted that to hurt and he wanted that to sting, which I'm cool with. I just don't like the way that he moved, the way that he operates. I remember when he was in the cult, first of all, for him to even join that cult with his wife and his kid shows me a lot about his mindset. He just don't have a strong character to me. And when they told a story about Eligio showing his dick to his wife, and in response, Shaka said that he act like he didn't know that that had happened because he wanted to play mind games and get Eligio to admit that he was wrong. Instead of going to him, speaking to him like a man and be like, did you show my wife your dick? Like, why would you do that? Like, something. So, the way that he is, like, I know that any woman that deal with him is going to always be dealing with some bullshit. Dealing with some bullshit. Not only that, there is going to be like a lack of protection. Because in that moment of him acting like he don't know what happened, I feel like his woman was not protected. And then when you read Civil Book and how he was using his wife as a tool to challenge another man, the way that he represents his ego is weak to me. Like, people don't got time for those games. And no woman should be in a position to feel like she not protected, to feel like she not truly cared for. Because in the book, Aveen expressed to him that she didn't want to have sex, but he made her feel like she had to because he was trying to prove a point. That gives me that Job energy. Like when God made a deal with the devil and the devil was like, yo, I guarantee if we put him through a whole lot of shit, he gonna stop being faithful to you. And then God was like, bet. So all this bad shit started happening to Job. And Job was dedicated as hell to God. And he like, why God? And then at the end, God was like, well, I'm just testing your faith. Even though you ain't give me no reason, because you always been faithful to me. I'm testing your faith, playing with your life, putting you through hell to prove a point to the devil that you faithful to me. You see that? Silly. It's that type of energy with Aveen and Shaka. She definitely is a slave to him. And he ain't no better. Well, I don't feel like he a full narcissist like Eligio. But he abusive on other levels. Emotionally, mentally abusive. So I don't have no respect for him. Anyways. So, and the other thing, I don't like the fact that neither one of these men really took into the consideration of how the women feel about this. Like, I mean, truly, on a deep level. Eligio in one breath be like, yeah, she just, you know, she just like that sometimes, but you got to understand she healing, she da-da-da-da. Why is you even having this conversation with this man on a live? This conversation could have been on the phone in the background. If you truly cared about her, that's how it would have been. You wanted to embarrass her. You wanted her to feel bad. You wanted her to feel shame. And because you wanted to inflict those negative emotions on her, show that you don't love her. And it's the same with Shaka. And then as soon as Aveen get to talking, people started to zone her out. That because, and that's like all the time. She don't know how to exert her light. Because, you know, she don't even want that lifestyle. She just doing whatever he tell her. Anyways. So, yeah, I think there was an infatuation here with Velvet. At one time, she thought she might have loved him, but it wasn't real love because she was just in a lot of hurt, a lot of pain. And I do feel like when it comes to attraction, I think that she was more attracted to Aveen. She did fantasize a lot about having a relationship with them. But I'm gonna give you the real what I'm feeling. I feel like Velvet underestimated them, Velvet really thought that she could go into that situation and take over and control. She really did. So yeah, this is a really humbling experience for her because initially she really did feel like she could have like Shaka like wrapped around her finger and Azine. She did. And I felt like she even had plans to like go into that relationship, have them bowing down to her, and then trying to build something with them, similar to what she was trying to build with Eligio. But it didn't work out like that. Okay, so I asked, how did Azine feel about Velvet at that time, around the time of the threesome? So Azine was concerned that she was going to get really close to Shaka because she think that Velvet is beautiful, and Azine do deal with self-esteem issues. So she was concerned about Shaka making Velvet a wife because deep down inside, Azine do not want to do polygamy. Yeah, but she do love Shaka a lot, but she don't want to live this life. She do find Velvet to be attractive, and with this thank you please go now card, I feel like during the time of the threesome, yeah, she just wanted it to be like a one-time thing. She kind of felt like that would help get Velvet out of Shaka's system. But I think she did enjoy the sex with Velvet. So I asked, how did Shaka feel about Velvet? And he found her attractive as well, but he was mad at her about something in the past, and he haven't let it go, even though he said that he did. So he was still in that mind frame of like wanting to get revenge. I do believe that there was a time in the past that Shaka did wanted Velvet. Not around the time of the threesome, but like I think a time when Velvet was still with Eligio. Because there was a connection between them, like a attraction that they both could feel. But I feel like it was something that Velvet did to him that stuck with him, and like to him he just kind of wanted to get her back for that. So he wanted to, but to get her back he just wanted to resist her. But this interview and all of that, that's just icing on the cake, you know. But he wasn't really looking for that, but it was icing on the cake for him. Shaka was a little turned off about some of Velvet Ways, things that she did. So he wanted the facade of Velvet. At the time that he met her, she wasn't even really being herself. She don't really know how right now because she's healing or trying to heal. But I think that he had a goal from the beginning. I don't even feel like he told Aveen about his goal. But he had a goal and he completed it. I may not agree with the way that he completed it, but I can respect it. But he did feel like if he had sex with her, that things would be a lot worse. And he felt like that at that time, during that moment. So, yeah, things that they said in the interview was mostly correct. So, even the other parts, yeah, that interview was pretty truthful. So I asked how Eligio felt when Velvet told him about the threesome. He instantly felt like Shaka did it to get back at him. To be real, I don't feel like he cared too much about it. Like, he kind of liked it because he valued Velvet by how desirable she is by other men. So the fact that Shaka wanted her kind of boosted his ego because he felt like, especially at this point right now, that he kind of got Velvet in his pocket. So to be real with you, it's something that kind of turned him on about it. It was some type of mental game that him and Velvet was playing. It was because he knew that she did it to get over him. He knew that Shaka did it to prove a point to him. So, and I also feel like the way that Velvet told the story, she told the story in a way that she was really desired. And she told the story in this way so that Eligio could feel some type of way. She wanted him to feel some type of way, but he acted like he felt that way, but he really didn't. It's not about that for him. It's not, he don't even really care if Velvet sleep with other men. He care about the type of man because he feel like that's reflective of him. I do feel like it's getting to a point that he will really cut ties with Velvet, to the point that he gonna say that he don't want her, and but it's gonna be after he convinced everybody that she is a hoe and that she is a crackhead. It's gonna be after that. So once he feel like he took away her value, that's why he wanna break her so bad. He don't want her to excel without him. So once he feel like he took away her value, he is not gonna want her no more. He not gonna want her no more. So I do see a lot of people in the comments, and it was like, you know, Velvet is just like Eligio. She just is demonic and stuff like that. I mean, when you really look at it, they playing two different games. Yeah, she is mimicking him because she feeling like this is the way to win his heart, but she trying to win his heart. Eligio is just trying to gain what he can out of the situation. It's more about his ego than anything else. So, and he really got a connection with Velvet in a sexual way. She do enjoy having sex with him, and he knows that, and he used that. So they're not even playing the same mental game, but yeah, they are both playing games. Yeah. But it's for two different reasons. She feel like she could fix him. She feel like she can make him jealous and stuff, because she think that he got real feelings for her. But he gonna keep proving to her until she get it that that's not what it is. Not what it is. So how did Eligio feel about Shaka after the interview? He felt like he accomplished something. He had a secretive motive that he felt like he played his role pretty good. He did, this interview did bruise his ego, especially the head part, and it also devalued Velvet to him. So he might go to acting like he don't want her, or he could do better than her and stuff like that, just because of this interview. Or maybe he would do a different position if he hear this right here and decide to play a different game. But either way, it's a game, and it's going to have the same outcome. I think he also planned on acting like he's so hurt by it, or there you go. Okay, so he might take this energy and try to further demonize Velvet. It's gonna be real slick. Like, he might be on some stuff like, yeah, I know she was hurting at the time, but for real, Shorty is a hoe. She be doing all of this and and be like telling more of her business. And now that people is more open to believe him, that's when he really gonna be telling lies. But it's just gonna seem truthful because he is manipulating this energy that he gained from that interview. Mm. He might even say that he want to bring it into the marriage and act all guarded and stuff like that, and acting like, yeah, through this he gonna try to like change his own image. So yeah, it's sad or whatever, but that's why Velvet have to make better decisions, because at this point, if she don't, the universe is just gonna keep beating her ass. So she should go ahead and disconnect from that carbonation energy. I don't know why she messing with the ex members. Not right now. I don't even think she should be messing with members that been gone for a long time, like Tori and stuff like that, because they all carry that programming, and if they're not careful with talking to each other, they could reprogram each other into going back or into believing that philosophy. So they need to talk to some newer energy that is not tainted by that. So I do feel like he really in her ear though, and she might be strongly considering going back if she's not on her way now, especially after that interview, because that interview put her at a really weakened state. And Eligio know, he might have even got in her mind like, I'm the only person that truly care about you. You see that I was trying to take up for you and stuff like that. So, and I feel like it might have worked. It might have worked. Okay, so after the interview, Shaka felt like he did a good job. He felt like a cycle was completed, and now I feel like he could let this go now. He could end this. He's thinking about ending all connections with carbonation. Yeah. Yeah, it's not much to say about how they feel. They kind of feel like they done with this situation. They made their point, and they feel like they made a point clear, and they are proud of how they looked at the end of this. I'm talking about Shaka and Aveen. I feel like Aveen wanted to stop communication with anybody from carbonation, but Shaka is like, he petty. So he wanted his revenge first. He wanted to prove a point, and he's willing to take his time to plan out and prove a point. It's something about this though that I feel like in the future is going to it's going to circle back around to them. and affect them somehow. Like somehow they are going to be dragged into some mess. And I feel like the reason is now that Eligio feel like he has to get Shaka back. So I do feel like Eligio is going to be pulling Shaka into more drama. Okay, let's get some cards on that. More about this drama. I feel like Eligio may come across a woman that knew Shaka and had a falling out with him, and he may try to get this woman on his team, and it's gonna cause some type of drama. Yeah. I feel like this is gonna be one of Shaka exes, somebody that's mad at him. So yeah, let's just let that play out, and I'm gonna end it here. And stay blessed, y'all. And I do have another reading coming up. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and then after that, I may go on like a little break, but I will still be uploading to my podcast. But I think I'm gonna take a break from YouTube. So, yep. Stay blessed.